1:30, but you're welcome to start early. Well, it's 1:30 now, I believe. Okay, so I believe we are live. We're live. Let's get this thing on. Let me go over to YouTube. Let me go over to the YouTube. Anybody who was just on YouTube shut me down. Why? 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 Why would they? Why would they do that to the Rafi? It's utterly bizarre. This video is not being monetized. Well, let's change that then. Okay. Inappropriate language, no. Adult content. Blurred sense, exposed breasts, romance or kissing, discussing of romantic relationships or sexuality without referencing intercourse, moderately blurred, censored, even if discussions of intimate experiences, implied acts, toys without exposed nudity, discussion of fetishes, a video of a thumbnail with representations. I don't know, man. Blurred. What's the appropriate adult content? I don't even know if it's adult content. Yeah, it is adult content for sure. But I don't know what level to what level. Acts, discussions of fetishes, or what about discussions of what are we talking about? Okay, let me go with blurred or censored violence. I don't think it's violence. No. Harmful or dangerous situations. No. Drug-related content. No. Hateful content. Content likely to offend marginalized individuals. Reference to marginalized groups. Content that may be offensive to marginalized group, but is used for educational or use or documentary. Okay, well, let's do that. That's education. Hateful content, firearms, sensitive issues. It's definitely sensitive issues. Discussion of modern acts of terror. No. Analysis or of opinion around serious topical event not described above. Serious topical event. Then yeah. It's hard to know what to sensitive issues. Okay, let me go with sensitive issues. As well. So I've ticked 2 boxes. I've ticked that it might be hateful. I've ticked 3 boxes. Adult content. Might be hateful. Sensitive issues. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I've ticked all the adult stuff. Submit. So I've submitted that now. Live viewers. Okay, that's been submitted. They're thinking about it. Okay, where are we now? Who is he? Oh, damn. A lot of people have just come back, populated the area. Okay, so YouTube again, trying to mess around. Okay, I've ticked lots of boxes I've ticked it all adult. You know what? This might be a good learning experience for me. I should probably go live twice a day, really and truly. See how many times they kick me off, what they kick me off for, and then I can learn everything that I need to know. Okay, so as you know, YouTube just kicked us off. We were talking about something. We're not going to mention any names. Yes. Who we got? We got the Marla. We got the James Jameson. We got the Boxing Jedi up in the building. Hello, everybody. Okay, so YouTube just kicked us off. We're going again, but we're not going to mention anybody's names. No names are going to be mentioned. This program is not about any specific individual. This program is adult content. I've just marked the whole thing adult, but we're going to keep it very, 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 very polite. I'll jump on your what? How can you what? Jump on your What's going on? How could he be here? How could he be here and have a stream going live? That's impossible. That's impossible, isn't it? I thought that was impossible. But anyway, okay. So we're not talking about any specific individual. We're talking about the circumstances of a man in the army. Let me have a look. Okay. So we're talking about a man in the army who's come into contact with a young lady at the age of 18. Oh, I got you. That makes more sense. I thought you said he was here and there at the same time. Okay, I got you. I was gonna say, whoa, that's some serious level of multitasking. I was gonna say that's some next level shiznicks. Okay, so we're not talking about anybody specifically. I think we're allowed to talk about situations. So we're talking about a situation where a man is in the army, and we've looked at the definition, and I think I'm going to have to do it all over again. We've looked at the definition of the Article 120 of the UCMJ. Now, let's get into it. A service member of the United States Armed Forces who rapes. I think I'm allowed to say that. And if not, YouTube are going to have to explain to me how when I've already marked this thing down as adult. Okay, who rapes, who sexually assaults, or who physically abuses or threatens to abuse another person with sexual contact, groping. Okay, so that's non-sexual, or groping is sexual contact, yeah. Unwanted sexual advances, that could be verbal, will be charged under Article 120. Okay, so we're not messing about. We go, did I even share that? I didn't even share that, did I? Okay, let's go again. I think I'm kind of pissed off that yeah, don't mention no names in here. YouTube don't like it. I'm gonna have to oh, it doesn't say, you don't mention a name, it's the different letters. Okay. No, I haven't. I don't watch TV. Arthur Daly, bloody hell, it's Arthur Daly. Okay. So right, in the army there's a higher level of expectation of behavior. Now, okay, let me cut to the chase. There's some talk about pedophilia. The lady was 18 years of age. That's not a child. The lady was 18 years of age. That, okay, in America, maybe that's a child. But in the UK, that's not a child. Yeah? Now, Marla, what was that thing you said before? What was the thing he was put in the brink for? What was that thing he was put in the brink for? Inappropriate. Let's look at the categories. Let's look at the categories again, and let me actually share the damn thing this time. A little bit aerated because YouTube kicked me off, you know what I'm saying? But it's okay. It's okay. I don't give it, I'll just do the right categories and go again. Do the right categories and go again. There we are. Boom. Boom. Okay. So for a start, this happened in the army. The lady was 18. One can presume she was in the army also. I don't know. Was it into army thing? Either way. It was a grown man with a grown young lady. That is not pedophilia. So that's one. I mean, please, can we get the story right? Can we get the story straight? That ain't pedophilia. Exactly. Thank you. Abusive sexual contact. Okay. Yeah, James Jameson, yeah, I've got the thing. I've got the paperwork. I've got the paperwork backstage, but I ain't going to put it up on the screen. The guy who sent it to me said he put it up on the screen and his video got taken down, just like my video just got taken down without even putting it up on the damn screen. So you ain't even got to put it up on the screen. Okay, we've given you the definition. The definition is right up there on the screen. Let me make it bigger. Let me make it bigger. I absolutely hate and detest. Fabrications, false allegations. Hate and detest it. Yeah, if you're going to hang a man, hang him for something he did. Now, I put it to you. The word pedophilia is being thrown around, and I put it to you that nowhere in the paperwork have I seen, nowhere in the paperwork. We're not mentioning any names, James. We're not mentioning any names, but there's been an allegation. There's been an allegation, and we're not even talking about allegations. We're talking about reality here. We're talking about misreporting. We're talking about people writing that the guy was guilty of pedophilia, when in fact it turns out the lady was an 18-year-old young lady. And the definitions, we know the code. The article is it's under the code, the Army Code or the Military Code, Article 120 of the UCMJ. That's a military thing. If you read what I put up there, a military service member of the United States Armed Forces. Hold on a second. I should do something here. Let me do something very clever. Adult content. I should write it in. I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to start doing that from now on. What up, y'all? Red. Okay, so somebody take over from talking to me. I'm gonna doing things in the background. Somebody take over with the talking. Thank you. Can one of you guys take over with the talking?
Okay. There's a lot of irresponsible quote unquote journalism in this country.
We're in different countries. Right.
So now I'm talking about the U.S.
Okay.
I'm in the U.S. and there's a lot of irresponsible journalism in the U.S. And I'm talking about from the huge media outlets to, the small YouTube channels.
Yeah.
Look, at the end of the day, it's all about subscriptions. It's about viewers. It's about the money. And the more people you attract to your platform, the more capital you're able to demand from advertisers. And truth be damned, truth doesn't even figure into the equation. Responsible journalism, which I don't even think exists in this country anymore, if it ever did. Responsible journalism, be damned. It's all about the almighty dollar, And as a result, people suffer.
Don.
So who was it that said the pen? Who was it that said the pen is mightier than the sword? Who said that?
I can't remember. Somebody did. It was Wilfred. No, it's Alfred. It was Hearst. Ed Hearst. The Rosebud. He made a film about him. Rosebud, the Hearst, the Edward Hearst or something. The magnate over there in America. Randolph Hearst.
Yeah, well, that's very true. I mean, that's true. There's an insane amount of damage that can come as a result of having said the wrong thing or written the wrong thing. And writing the wrong thing is even worse because you can't change the ink once it's on the paper. It's there. And living in this country is all about misinformation. It's all about misinformation. From the school system to the media outlets to the courtroom.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Misinformation.
That would be crazy though if he went through all this just for words that he said. Like, that's crazy. I don't think he just said words, man. I mean, I like him, he's my dude, but I actually feel he actually had a good time, and some females.
Let me stop you. No. Let me stop you right there. 1 second. I'll come back to you.
Right.
Okay. So, let's talk about this. James Jameson. How you doing, James? Okay. So, Bernie Eccleston, the Formula One guy. He's like 80. And his missus is like 30. And they're having another baby. So the age gap there is what? 30. That's 50-year age gap. A 50-year age gap. Mid-30s, 35 to 18. What's the age gap? That's what's that? 15, 16, 17, 17 years. 17 years, let's say. Twice her age. 17 years age gap. Bernie Ecclestone, he's dealing with girls, because before she was his wife, she was his girlfriend. So Bernie Ecclestone, he deals with women 50 years his junior. Okay, so why is it Rosebud? Rosebud, yeah. So why is it? How is a 50-year age gap acceptable? Let's take out the sexual assault, because sexual assault is always wrong, always wrong. Yeah, but as far as this age gap thing's concerned, yeah. So if it's a minor, what minor? 18, whatever. Is that a minor? I don't know. Not in the UK. In the UK, 18 is not a minor. So I'm talking about the assault. Any kind of assault, any kind of sexual assault is bad.
Yeah, Rafi. Let me point out something, man. Some young girls, some young females, some young women, you know, some of them, even if they below the age of 18, they lie to you, you know. So, like in America here, they lie to you because
Of course
they know there's.
Of course they lie to you. Carry on.
Yeah, you know, and
yeah.
I've seen situations where a lot of guys like go in trouble because they were with a female that was big, I mean tall, and she lied to them, you know? So, but
that's
yeah,
common. That's common.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
But because he was in the military, I'm going to assume she was also in the military.
I think that's the case.
And he might have dealt with her like he was dealing with an adult, you know?
Yeah.
And basically got in trouble, huh?
What do you mean dealing with her like he was dealing with an adult?
I mean, he probably did not even think about age.
Well, here's the thing. You know? That's why I've left it up on the screen. Here's the thing. That's why I left it up on the screen. Now, for one, he's in the military. So he's living on a military base. So that was more he was living on a military base. So his level of behavior has to be higher than civilians, because she's most likely living on the military base as well. So it's not a case of, okay, we finished now. It's 5 o'clock. We finished now. Let's have some tequilas and, you know, do some limbo dancing. It's not like that. You can't do that on a military base. So if they okay. So
let me give you a scenario.
Let me finish. So the fact that he's living on a military base means that he's held to a higher standard of behavior. The fact that she may be living on a military base means that he is doubly held to a higher standard of behavior. So any kind of infraction, if he made some kind of suggestion like, oh, your ass looks good in those, what do you call them? Fatigues. What do you call them? Camo. Your ass looks good in those. Oh, your ass looks good in those camos. That is, and she didn't like it. That would constitute unwanted sexual advances. If he said it twice, advances, plural. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm assuming.
Carry on.
I'm assuming on the military base he was her superior, right?
I would imagine so.
Definitely, like he definitely would have been her superior. But now we're talking about an 18-year-old who probably left her parents' roof, and went to the military base and was free for the first time in her life. And then she meets a dude who's her superior, and he's like, yo, you want to come to my apartment and let's have a drink, have a good time. It's easy for him to get in trouble like that. Like, that doesn't mean he's a pedophile, you know. He just got caught. He just got caught. A lot of these dudes that are calling him a pedophile are real pedophiles.
Yeah, that's not a pedophile. That's not a pedophile. I can bring up the definition. The link is in the chat for anybody who wants to jump on. I'm going to bring up the definition of a pedophile. Now, why is Rafi? I thought Rafi, I thought you hated BFTB. No. BFTB amuses me. Sometimes every now and then, every few weeks, every 3 weeks, I'd look at my watch and I'd say, oh, BFTB's on right now. Let me go and have some fun. Let me go and have a little chat with him. Let me see if I can let him get to blow another blood vessel. You know what I'm saying? So there ain't no hate from Rafi to the BFTB. There ain't no hate at all. But what I do hate is misreporting. I got a little bit of I had a little cruise the other day. Was it last night? It was last night. I finished the show with Rick Glazer. Anybody who has not caught the show with Rick Glazer, go ahead and catch that show. It was a good one. And after that, finished nice and early. And I thought, yeah, let me just have a little cruise, which I don't normally do. And I had a little cruise around the YouTube channels. And I came across this piece by someone who, you know, some people tout as, yeah, he's a good one. Yeah, he's a good one. And it was a load of speculative gabaggio, devoid of any evidence whatsoever. He was slandering a boxer, slandering his trainer. Absolute, totally disgusting. Not one shred of evidence. And yet this guy is referred to, yeah, he's a good one. I was absolutely, I'm not joking. I was sickened by the total. I mean, it was LDBC level, but it wasn't from America. It was from the UK, and it was LDBC level gabaggio. No evidence whatsoever. And I'm not saying everything that comes out of the LDBC is garbage, but when people are talking about shizzle, they can't bring up any supporting evidence. Man's talking about, well, I have a feeling that this boxer's doing this, and he's doing that, and he's doing the other, and his trainer is this type of personality type. This wears this kind of trousers, wears that kind of, and I was repulsed. I don't know if it was late at night or whatever, but I was just repulsed at the fact that there was no journalistic integrity whatsoever. It's like in maths, you come up with a number, and it's not just a number. They say, show me your workings. Show me your workings. Show me how you worked that out. Show me how you came to that conclusion. And ladies and gentlemen, you can see up on your screen the definition. It's a military thing. In the military, you're held to a higher standard. It could have ranged from anywhere to actual rape. This is adult content, and I put that in the title so they can't mess with me theoretically. It could have been arranged from anything from rape, which it wasn't, because we know what it was. It's been written in here already. It could range from anywhere from rape. Mute yourselves if you're not talking, please. It could range anywhere from rape to what do you call this? Unwanted sexual advances. And it's with an 18-year-old. We got the term pedophile being thrown around. People like to throw terms around too much. Get it right. 18-year-old woman, the red-gloved militant.
How's it going, Raph?
I'm good, my friend. I'm good. You know, just had to get on here, chop it up. YouTube threw me off. You know something, red glove militant? I'm a very persistent guy. I'm very, very persistent. I keep coming back. And I will find out how to do the shizzle with the least amount of interference. And I'm learning already. I think I just put adult content up in there, so you can't get no more clearer than that. Red Glove Militant.
The only other thing you could do is go in your settings.
Yeah.
There's a thing you can do in your settings. I did it at the beginning of the year because I heard that if you didn't do it, it could cause you problems later on down the line. But
I know what you're talking about. I did that a long time ago.
Yeah, so I don't even think I mean, it doesn't hurt to put it in the title. So
yeah,
but
yeah,
if you did that, then you should be fine.
Yeah.
But one thing I wanted to say is, from what I see, first
Yeah.
off, I'm gonna say this. It's I'm not gonna like really put a stake in all this off of allegations.
Yeah.
What I will say is this. What I'm finding is that if this is true, then the pedophile thing is not completely baseless. It's still shaky ground, but there's something that they are going off of. And my understanding is that on a StreamYard live, he actually made inappropriate comments toward a 14-year-old girl.
Oh.
Now, because I didn't watch that live, because I don't watch him, I don't support him. I think he's a jerk. He's very insulting to other people simply for not liking the same boxer he likes. So I don't watch him. But my understanding, and that's all I'm going to say, is if that is true, that he was making inappropriate comments that were basically, my understanding is he was hitting on a 14-year-old girl.
Yeah.
That is where the allegation of being a pedophile is coming from. Not from the actual sexual assault that resulted, because the video that I saw, and here's the thing, the audio is just hard for me to hear, and I'm gonna listen to it later with my headphones on to see if I can hear it better, because I was doing stuff at my house and trying to listen to it, and I just couldn't hear it clear enough. But if he was hitting on a 14-year-old girl, that's where the allegations are coming from. But the video that I saw did mention that his sexual assault from when he was in the military was with an 18-year-old. So the person that I was watching, it to me didn't appear that they were trying to falsely make allegations. Like I said, I started to listen to the audio where I can actually hear what was being said, where there's actually confirmation of the girl's age as well. Because somebody could say she was 14, but what if she was really 18? What if she was 21? Or it could be the other way around. Maybe she was 12. I don't know. So I like I said, I want to listen to the audio where it's a lot more clear, but I just wanted to clear that up. That is where the allegation of pedophilia is coming from. It's not from the sexual assault. Yeah, no problem.
I appreciate that. I only saw a couple of seconds of the conversation he had with the girl, but James Jameson, and she didn't look underage to me. It looked like a woman. That looked like a woman to me. It was grainy. I didn't see it clearly. It was some grainy shizzle, but that didn't look like a child. That didn't look like a child. Didn't look like a child. So if you're talking firstly, the father should have. Why did the father allow the call to go on if a man's talking inappropriately to your underage daughter? So my question is, why would you allow a call to go on if you're standing there and you're underage? She sounded okay. I didn't see it properly. It was grainy shit. The sound was off. Nah, did she sound like a child? She was okay. She sounded like a child to you. She sounds 14. Sounds very okay. That's your opinion. She looked like a woman to me, but I haven't seen it clearly. I heard Yeah. Hello, Marla, up in the building for the first time in a long time. What's crack-a-lack in my southern hemisphere, matey?
Oh, not much. I just wanted to clarify something.
Yeah, please.
There's the offence is not pedophilia, the military one with the 18-year-old, obviously. What I just want to clarify is if it was on a military base, she's 18 and she was a soldier at 18 years of age, she'll be a junior soldier. If he's been in the military a few years, he will be a senior NCO or an officer. You cannot fraternize. So if he's had any sort of sexual fraternization with her, that alone would get him in trouble. You don't fraternize with junior ranks. You can't. And then obviously he was charged with abusive sexual contact or abusive sexual conduct. So he's obviously done something she didn't like, and the army's seen fit to charge him with an offence, and he's obviously been found guilty and kicked out of the army. So it's not pedophilia as such, but
well, that's not. I hear you. Marla's still there. Okay. I hear you. That's valuable information. That puts everything into context. That's the silver bullet to the whole of that. So he was a senior. He was a senior in the army, and he was hitting on a what do you call him? NCO.
Well, I'm not too sure. Like, I'm just. Obviously, he was charged in the military court. So the chances are, it may have involved an 18-year-old other member who was in the military. And if that's the case, being 18, they will be of a junior rank. And with him being an older guy, if he's put more years in the military, he will be either an NCO, corporal, sergeant upwards like that, or he could even be an officer. So he cannot fraternize with them. You cannot have sexual relations with junior ranks. It's going to get you in trouble. And then he's done something that she's obviously hasn't liked, because he was charged with abusive sexual contact. And then the army have obviously seen fit to kick him from the military So
he could have squeezed her ass.
Well, he could have. Anything untoward of a sexual nature, that will get him in trouble. She's 18 years old. She's a junior rank, and he's got some rank. That's going to put him in a bind.
It's going to put him in a bind. And I think that that's nicely. Legal age is 17 for consent in Texas. But because they're both military. Of them appeared in the military, because they were both in the military, then that is different. I only saw a few seconds of the thing, a seconds, and I saw the girl. Did she look like a child, or did she look like a woman? I thought it was a woman.
I watched it live, and I found out that it was the guy Paul Stedman. He goes on to BFTB's show a lot, and they go to and fro. They go at it, but he said that it was his daughter. So BFTB knew it was his daughter, but I don't know, how old I didn't know how old she was, and I didn't really hear that.
Yeah, sorry, I keep on talking with my mute on. Right. So what the few seconds I heard, he said, "No, I don't want to talk to you. Put me on with the girl. Put me on with the girl or the woman or whatever." And so I think that he thought. My take of it, put me on with the girl, because I clicked onto a video, and I clicked on at that exact point. I moved the scroller bar, and I clicked on at the point where the what I thought was a woman appeared. And then she was talking, and then BFTB, no, I don't want to talk to that crackhead. I don't want to talk to that crackhead. That's what I saw. I don't want to talk to that crackhead. She said, he's not a crackhead. He's not a crackhead. I thought it was a woman. I thought it was grainy. It was on my phone. It was grainy. It was only for a few seconds. I thought it was a woman. And then she said, he's not a crackhead. He's not a crackhead. And she was laughing and giggling. He's not a crackhead. And then the dad went back on the phone. And then I scrolled past, and then she came back on the picture. And then he said, or she said, I think he said, it's my daughter.
He knew it was the daughter, but I don't know if he knew her age.
That's the thing. The grainy thing that I saw, I thought that was probably his girlfriend. But then he said, it's my daughter.
Okay. Yep.
I don't even know if I actually heard that part or if I'm just
I'm pretty sure I watched it live. I'm pretty sure he knew it was the daughter, but it was just but I can't remember if there was any like I'm this age or anything like that. So he may not have known and
the age thing. So but I'm saying I don't know if I listened to that part when he said it's my daughter, or I've just heard so many other people say that I'm saying it as well. Do you see what I'm saying? That's my thing. Did I hear it, or is it that so many other people have told me that they heard it that I'm just saying that I heard it? I don't know if I heard it, but regardless of which, I thought it was a woman on the grainy thing. I thought it was a woman, and so. You know, it's a tough one. He said it was my daughter. Did he say the age? His daughter could have been 21. His daughter could have been 19, 20, 21. You know, is that if you're talking to what you think is a woman, I shouldn't really comment on it because I haven't seen a clear footage of it. I haven't seen any clear footage of it. But that's he said it was his daughter. BFTB ran his mouth one time too often.
That's what I said. Yeah. That's what I said to I was talking to it was Philip this morning, and I said, it was someone else I was talking to. I said he's been walking a fine line with his channel for a long time, and he's finally he's screwed up, man, and YouTube have pulled the plug, you know?
Yeah. He ran his mouth one too many times. And you know, as a consequence of which, he's gonna pay the penalty. He's gonna pay the penalty. Don ZB, I think you want to say something. Stick around, Marla.
Yep. Can I say something real quick?
Oh, sorry, Red Glove. Carry on. Yeah, sorry, my bad.
No, you're good. I just wanted to say, you know, like just in regards to what y'all are talking about. To be honest, I am shocked that his channel wasn't taken down sooner, because he violated terms of service on the regular. It's astonishing how long he went. Like you're not allowed to use abusive language like that, and he wouldn't just use abusive language like if you were in the chat. If you somehow found your way on the panel with him, he would use that same abusive language, and on that alone he could have had his channel taken down. I'm shocked.
I agree, man. I used to go on there and you'd be in the chat and they were talking about Jews, gays, white people. It was abusive, man. And it amazed me that he never got taken down. It was
but do you know who else he was abusive to, Marla?
Who's that?
Black people.
Right. Yeah, he doesn't like AJ, man. Yeah.
So he was abusive to black people as well. And people say to me, well, you went on there, Raph. Yeah, but if you notice, he wasn't too racially abusive with me. And the reason is, I'm going to push it out to others in a second, is because the very first time I went on there, he gave to me and I gave it immediately to him back, and he cut me off. Not even the mute, just cut me off. Boom. And so from that point forth, he knew that if he got too cheeky, he was going to get it back. So he kept his cheekiness down. He kept it moderated with me. And because every time he gave it to me, I know how you deal with those people. You give it him immediately back. Immediately back. Don ZB.
Yeah, I think I was there the first day you and him spoke, but I think he respected you because you didn't troll him. You came with what you thought was fact, so he respected you from the first day. Yeah, you know. Yeah. But the dude Paul is always trolling though. You know, the dude Paul with the daughter, he stay trolling dude, man. So,
He's always
anyways, though,
yeah, carry on.
he's always trolling BFTB. Now, Mala made a good point about the military.
Yeah,
that could actually be the case. You know, it probably was more so he was flirting with a junior ranked soldier, and so he got charged. But I don't get why he had to register as a sex offender.
But he got charged. He got charged for it, and somebody.
But that's the military.
No, it extends. You do it in the military. It doesn't stop in the military. If you commit what's considered a sexual crime, if you touch a girl's backside in the army, then that's a sex crime. If she says she didn't like it, that's a sex crime. And it doesn't just stay in the army.
Okay. Makes sense. So YouTube has not shut his channel down. His channel is still up, but all his videos.
No. They've shut one channel down. He's got other channels.
I'm talking about his main channel.
Yeah, his main channel's got down. It's down. He's got a second channel that you're seeing.
Okay, but you could still go to the channel. The only thing is there are no videos up.
Oh, okay. Well, what's a channel without videos then? That means they've wiped his videos.
Yeah, but I mean, if a channel shuts down, like it shuts down, like you don't see it no more.
I can't answer that one. Because if a channel has got no videos, then I don't know. You know, what is that? What is a channel without no videos? Okay, you're muted. Okay, the Fight Doctor.
So to your point, and forgive the background noise, I'm in the car. But to your point, whether it's the crime is committed while he's in the military at a military base, a crime was still committed, and a military base, no matter where it is in the world, right? A military base, when you are in a United States military base, you are standing on United States soil. All right. Yeah. So if a crime is committed on a military base halfway around the world, a crime has been committed in the United States. It's the same. It's the same deal. So he should have to. So if he is in fact guilty of a sexual crime, be it at a military base while he was in the military, he's still guilty of having committed a sexual crime in the United States of America. So he is still subject to the laws that govern the civilians in the United States of America, which if you have to register as a sexual offender, then that's what you have to do.
So he had to register. EJ Boxing Live is up in the building.
What's going on? EJ Boxing Live on Bobby Brown status. What's going on, peoples?
Don't be cruel.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, so yeah, his channel's still up, but he's just took all the videos down. Yeah, his channel's still there, but his main channel's still there. 3,000 and something subs, and he just still got rid of all the videos. So I mean, this is the thing, right? And I'm just listening to everyone saying, with the military thing and the charge and stuff like that. The bottom line is that you put the energy out there with that much hate, then people are gonna find, if you've done something with that, people are gonna find it. You know what I mean? I actually thought initially that it might have been tampered, but it seems like it's authentic, but it's authentic, and now you're being judged accordingly. But it just shows you in this world, you can't hide behind the computer, man. You can't hide behind the computer, bro. Right, bro? We're actually real people. I mean, your actual real name is not BFTB boxing, whatever. You know what I mean? People can find exactly who you are. Even the other day, the footballer was getting racially abused by a 12-year-old. He found the IP address and found the kid. Kid got arrested. You know what I mean? I like that though, because then the day I feel like I like it because like in the real world, you wouldn't say certain things to certain people, but you think because you think you're hiding behind a computer and a button. But even though BFT shows his face, because this is the thing, right? A lot of times he used to offer people out, right, and say, "Look, here's my address, or here's where I am." Well, obviously someone's took that up and took up their time and found out who your real name is and everything about you, and it's out there, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like, to be exposed like that and just naked like that, boy. Listen, that's a hard pill to think. He's actually gone live actually on Fernand International channel.
Yeah, don't mention that until this show finishes. You know what I'm saying? We don't want migration.
We've already mentioned his name, although, but it's up to you anyway. I've cool, no problem, right? You already mentioned. I was surprised you because I remember you were trying to actually not mention his name for most of the channel.
Yeah, I'm trying not to mention his name. I'm trying not to mention his name.
Yeah, it's the thing is, to be fair, like, you know, everyone knows who you're talking about, and you know, the thing. What my point is, you know, just coming on is I'm saying, if you're putting the energy out with so much hate and venom and swearing and vulgarity, like you know, people gonna find things on you. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, you invited trouble came to your door, and like you know, they found that thing out, and that, to be fair, that's gonna stay with you. Like, I mean, even like you've just explained, you know, what it was. He's a military officer in Texas and whatever, but in England, people don't hear nothing, bro. I mean, even though it's explained by the young man just now. Like in England, like they just hear that kind of thing, and it doesn't matter what it was. It's like, nah, we don't want nothing to do with that, man. That's not going away. Listen, that guy, he's on another man's channel talking and stuff like that. Boy, listen, it's not a good look, bro. It's like, sometimes, you know, it's best to just surrender and just allow that thing, because I'm not gonna lie to you, but it's making it worse, man. But I don't know, maybe people forgive it or whatever, you know. But in the day, I'm just saying, you put the energy out there, and trouble comes knocking on your door. It's finally came 3 years of just pounding the rock, and now the trouble just came right on you. All your work, your body of work, you've just completely wiped your library. Whether he's put it on private, he's probably put it on private, right? Because no one can see the videos. All the video could just be on private, and maybe he's thinking of coming back, but it's there, man. It's just laid bare like that, man. So I'm just saying, what you put out, you know, it comes back on you. So, you know what I mean? He's gonna have to sit there and stomach it and decide. I don't think he knows what to do with himself, really, because that's what he's been doing. You know what I mean? He's trying to think what to do with himself. So that's that.
It's a permanent stain.
Yeah.
Well, Raphael, you can bring him over to the hot seat, and you can put him on the hot seat and inquire. You know what I mean?
Somebody tell him to come over. Somebody
you'll tell him over. You could just label this video.
Somebody reach out.
Rafi, tell Fanon to ask him to come over.
Rafi, tell Fanon.
Yeah.
No. One of you guys tell Fanon to ask him to come over. I'm over here. You know what I'm saying? I can't be going over there when I'm live on a show. So it's gonna take somebody else to say Rafi wants to give you a fair hearing, so you can come on over and you know, Rafi's a fair man. He'll give you a fair hearing. What I have a problem with is the poor journalistic integrity that I saw when I went for a little stroll in YouTube land. I clicked on some videos for some people in some places where I don't normally go, and I will tell you this in all honesty, I was shocked and disgusted at the lack of journalistic integrity. I heard one guy just blazing a fighter, saying, "Oh, he's doing this, he's doing that," with not one shred of evidence. Not one shred of evidence. And I found that to be incredibly distasteful. Not only that, but he went on to another guy in the industry, calling him a this, calling him a that. And in the meantime, admitting that he didn't know the guy and didn't know nothing about the guy. How foul is that? You don't know the guy. You don't know barely anything about the guy, but you are comfortable to sit in your little swivel chair and defame people without not one shred of evidence.
But that's modern journalism now, man. It's everywhere.
You know, but what's disturbing to me, Marla, is that people come to me and say, "Oh, this guy's good. Oh, yeah, he's good." And I listen to the guy. I don't listen to him normally because you see, to me, it's not just the message. People say, "Oh yeah, you know, he knows his stuff, though. He knows his stuff." But to me, it's not just the message; it's the character of the messenger. You know what I'm saying? I don't want some foul guy who knows the Bible from back to front preaching to me. If your character is poor, then you know it counts for naught to me.
I mean, for me, I would never go public about someone with something unless I had done my due diligence and I was damn sure that what I had was the truth. It's like PED. It's like PEDs in boxing. Sometimes people will say to me, "So and so's on drugs, so he's a cheat." And well, for me, it's like, well, unless he gets caught beyond any shadow of a doubt, he's guilty. I'm not going to publicly declare him a drug cheat.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I'm not going to do that because he could just be an exceptional athlete. He may not be on drugs. So so I'm not going to go there. There's no way I would do that without evidence to back it up.
Well, Dante's Nation is paid the consequence for that, and so is Katie Hopkins and other people. Like they're deplatforming certain people on the social media now who they deem is putting false information. But Rafi, by the way, I didn't mean now. I mean like at a future date with BFT. Furthermore, which fight? Not now. So what fight? What fight were you talking about? And if you don't mind, what channel were you talking about? What fight? I'm not
going to mention the name of the fighter, and I'm not going to mention the channel because I don't know what you're talking about.
Because I don't know. Because I wanted to know that.
That's not my thing. But I'm mentioning the characteristics though. I'm mentioning the characteristics. I'm mentioning what I saw.
YouTube is amateur. YouTube is amateur anyway, so it's amateur journalism, isn't it? It's not like I mean, you could have a professional on a news channel, a news network, and then have it on YouTube. But in terms of like journalistically, if you have a journally reporting that you've gone to university and you have a certificate, then it's amateur. So it's like you're putting information out. Like I mean, I remember a situation between Vivian Harris, right? He was supposed to fight this guy called Bradley Skeet, right? And I talked to Vivian Harris, and he was coming to America. Well, he came to the UK. So he came to the UK, and they done a brain scan, and they said that he was deemed by the British board that he couldn't fight. And he was like, I don't understand. Like, you should do another second test. But Frank Warren said, nah, I'm not gonna fight him. Now, what he did at that point, he told me what happened, and he said, I'm gonna go back to the States and get tests. But this time, this went out. So basically, it would have ruined him from having a fight. So he went to obviously back to America. He had all these brain scans, and he sent me the reports, and I put the information out, right? And people was questioning. It's like, hold on a minute. So because he was trying to say that Frank Warren didn't want him to fight because they would have beat Bradley Skeet, who had a big number audience, right? So anyway, I put the brain scans out. People say, how do you know you're telling the truth? I go, well, boy, Vivian's telling me. So what I did, not only put the scans out, I had Vivian Harris telling me like exactly what happened, and then he got a fight, and because I put that out there, it squashed what Frank Warren officially was trying to say about him, right? We could have messed up his career because obviously he used my channel and I put it out there, and it combated against what was being said. It's really because I got Coogan hit me up. Coogan hit me up in my inbox and said to me, "Oh, you shouldn't put that out," because he was worried about Frank Warren. I go, I don't give a shit. It's the truth though, like, and he's there telling me that's what's going on. And Vivian Harris had a fight. I think he had a fight with who did he have a fight? I think it was one of Julio Chavez's sons or something like that. No, I think it was Miguel Cotto's brother or something like that. And he beat him. He beat him in Mexico, in Mexico City. And because of me, right, he was allowed to fight again. You know what I'm trying to say to you? So it can be used, but I do understand that this is amateur. It's amateur reporting, so I don't really take it too seriously unless you have a verification from the person himself who you're talking about who authorized it. Then you can and you can use that. But other than that, it's like, you know, he say, she say, until that point. That's the way I see it.
I think this is a good time to just learn from other people's mistakes. Take this as a cautionary tale that no matter what, whether it be your favorite boxer or yourself sitting behind a keyboard, no man is invincible. I think that's one of the biggest takeaways you could take from this whole situation. You had a guy who said whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted, and had the comfort of his own mute button and kick button to kick people off his lives. But when you get exposed for something, even if it's not exactly what people are accusing of you, if they have at least a shred of something that can allude to that, it can really destroy your character.
Yeah, he's made a lot of enemies though. That's.
I mean, I pride myself on being the kind of person that, I mean, I could either be your best friend or your worst enemy. I don't go out looking for enemies. You know. You too. Thank you. Sorry, I just had a package delivered.
Yeah, I agree with you. Everything has consequences of a consequence to action. You know what I mean? So the consequence to his actions of what he's been doing has fall back on him and that. And maybe there's other stuff that, you know, we bring to the forefront. To be fair, I must admit, the shame, of people knowing that stuff, would have caused most people to leave the social network, but. For some reason he's still around, man. I mean,
well, the thing with me that I don't like, I like accurate reporting. In terms of, you know, you're calling a man a pedo, but is he guilty of? I think the thing got confused because you say he's got a charge. And so you think, well, yeah, the charge must be related to some kind of pedophile activity. Then you find out the girl's 18 and you think, well, hold on a second. Hold on a minute. That don't sound like pedophilia. In fact, there is a definition of pedophilia and that's not it. So then you say, well, okay, then it comes to my attention. That, oh, it's not relating to that. It's relating to talking to the young lady on a live stream, and I can't really comment too much because I only saw a little snippet of that live stream, and it looked like a woman to me at the time, a grainy screen, but I thought it was a woman. Turns out it's a girl, allegedly a 14-year-old girl, and that ain't good. So, however, you know, throwing around terms like that recklessly, I'm not. I can't go that route. I can say it was inappropriate and he got his comeuppance, and his mouth got him into trouble. But from what I saw, people say, oh, Rafi, you must be an enemy of his, you must be his enemy. Well, no, not really. I just went over there to have a chat and a laugh. And you thought you'd be able to rattle me. Well, no. So I think I'm talking about, you know, just being responsible with the thing, just being responsible with the terms used. But so I don't agree with that. But his mouth certainly got him into trouble. And he brought it on himself. He brought the trouble on himself. However, even on top of that, I will say, well, if you've got a 14-year-old girl, if it turns out to be a 14-year-old girl, and a man is talking to her inappropriately, and I don't know how I don't know how the conversation went after what I heard. I heard a few seconds. And if he's talking to your daughter inappropriately, then are you just going to stand there and let him do so? Would you not end the call, or what is that all about?
We're talking about Mr. Potato Head, Raph. Mr. Potato Head, aka Paul. Okay.
Paul.
So, yeah.
Well, why did Paul allow him, the fella, to talk to his daughter in such a manner, inappropriate manner? Does he
why
not
did he
have
get why did he have his daughter on the call? Shit, grown men. Why are you having your daughter on the call?
He had his wife on the call once. I watched it. He had his wife on the call, and
that guy ain't got no. When you ain't got no self-control, because if you're there talking to other men on the internet and they hear something, yeah, you know it's men talking. Why are you involving your wife and your daughter to put that?
Isn't this guy supposed to be a lawyer?
To go. Now I agree with Rafi in the labeling, because when it first came out, it just came out that this guy's a pedo, and Raf, you broke it down in that she's not exactly. It's not exactly that, So you can't exactly that. But at the same time, his reactions, of taking the videos being took down and stuff like that, shows that there's some guilt of something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's some guilt of something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm not saying the guy is innocent. I listen. I just want clarity. That's why I started the call. I didn't come on with all the answers. I got Fight Doctor to come on too, Don Zeeby to come on too, because I was talking to Don Zeeby about it, and I was saying, "What do you make of this?" Because I got the damn thing yesterday. I was sent that email yesterday, and I automatically assumed it's BS. I mean, because I saw another thing previous to this. It could have been a year ago. It could have been two. It could have been a year. How long have I known that dude? Well, how long have I been interacting with him? Okay, so it couldn't have been 2 years. I mean, 18 months at the most. That's at tops. And I saw something else. I saw some other report on what looked like official documentation saying that he had been, the guy we're talking about, he had been assaulted from the rear in prison. He had a prison picture. Yeah, he had a prison picture of a guy who kind of looked like him, and he was waiting out some kind of medical facility. And even though he was wearing trousers, it looked like he'd been interfered with from the rear. So by another man. And I'd seen that, and once again, I think, I think that turned out to be BS. And I thought this was just another installment of BS. And then I saw the people reporting, and I thought, hold on a second, is this real? So I was on Twitter, and I asked somebody, is it real? Somebody who's quite respected, he said, yeah, it's real. I said, what the hell? So then I sent out the email that I received backstage to a couple people. Well, somebody beat me to it. I sent it to one person, and I was going to send it again, and then somebody else beat me to it. That's when you saw it, EJ. And then I said, this thing might be real. I'm confused. So, I gathered a couple of people, said, let's go live. You was there. And then we come on basically to chop it up and to find out what the hell's the reality. And the reality is that he was found guilty in the army of a particular code. Let me show you the code again. I should have that up on my screen. Let me get in the right windows. Too damn many windows open. So let me share again. And what we've been able to pin down is he's guilty of this, which should be on your screens now. And the code on the email thing, on the alleged what appears to be the sex offenders thing. What appears to be real, apparently. I find it still, I'm in disbelief, still in shock. It says Article 120 of the UCMJ, and this is the description of it. So anybody with a brain in their head can read it for themselves. A service member of the United States Armed Forces who rapes or sexually assaults or physically abuses or threatens to abuse a person with sexual contact. So and groping or unwanted sexual advances will be charged under Article 120. So let's be clear, let's be fair, and let's be clear. None of this, too much of this sensationalism. Let's forget about the sensationalism for a bit, and talk about the reality. So the reality is, as you can see on your screen, and we have to be fair about this, is it could range from somebody saying, for example, I want to squeeze your buttocks. That would fall under what sexual advance. No, there's another one. Threatening to abuse another person. So if a senior officer says to a newer officer or NCO, I forget what they're called, oh, your ass looks nice, I want to squeeze it, I would like to squeeze that one day, that would come under Article 120 of the UCMJ. That's what he's under. So mere words could get you charged for this. On the other end on the lighter end of the scale, on the heaviest end of the scale is actual rape. So we've got from I want to squeeze your ass looks nice, your ass looks delicious to a girl, him saying it to a lady, to actual physical rape. Now we know he didn't rape the girl, but there was some type of, what's the term you used, Marla?
Fraternization. So something untoward.
Oh,
It was
abusive.
He was charged with abusive sexual contact.
Sexual contact.
And so whatever that means, I don't know.
That means he's probably stalked her, innit? That means he stalked her and verbally he's stalking her, innit? That's what he was on, and she's young, innit? He knew she was young anyway. She might have just turned 18. In any case, yeah. He knew the rules, I'm sure, before he come into the army, and he's probably older than her. He knew the rules anyway, and he didn't care. He violated the rule, and he stalked the girl, and he was whatever, and maybe she said no, and he bloody abused her, and she broke down, innit? Remember the girl's 18, innit? Regardless, yeah. Even if you just turn 18, they're not mature enough to make the decision, and you as a man, you should, that's why. In any case, yeah. He probably maybe abused her mentally, and she probably was messed up because that's what he does online. He verbally abuses people.
And you see, in the military, as I say, in the military, if you've got their junior soldiers and you've got rank over them, you can't have any sexual contact with them, even if it's consensual.
Right.
You just can't. There's just zero. It just doesn't. You're in trouble if the army find out, man. You're going to get in trouble. They just don't want that fraternization. Full stop.
Yeah.
He didn't care. He saw something that young thing and he was off, mate. And then that goes into the same thing with the girl and the guy. Yeah, no, the guy he was talking to online, I'm getting the whole thing, but whoever the guy was talking to, he didn't care that the guy was there. He went straight in. Who's that girl? I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to that girl. And he didn't care. He didn't wonder or even ask how old she was or anything. Most guys, First and foremost, if you're talking to a guy, they say, who's that in the background? He goes, and then you ask who it is, then they go, and the person will say, that's who thing. And then he goes to my daughter, then you kind of get an idea. He didn't even ask that. He goes, I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to that girl. He didn't even business who she was. He was starving, mate. Man's thirsty. So if he was thirsty, just that, then that's probably why that girl or whatever, she looked old. He just rolled up on her and he got himself in trouble. But, end of the day, they have laws for a reason, and he's crossed the line. And I mean, to be fair, we're saying they like judge and jury over the situation, but really and truly, like if he didn't conduct himself in that manner, then maybe we wouldn't think of him that way. But it's just abuse online, abuse in his real life. That makes sense to me. It's probably abuse, in it. You know what I mean? So, in any case, he's gonna have to know that. Most people know that, and. And any sort of abuse towards women that's been put out there. But you're right about the pedo thing. It's not exactly accurate.
Yeah, it's not exactly accurate. We got the fight doctor in the building.
So people who, engage in these types of activities, and again, I apologize for the noise in the car, but people who engage in these types of activities, they sort of have a pattern. You know, it's not something you can just turn on and off like a light switch. You know, it sort of is what it is. And I think part of the whole pedophilia thing is like they feel some type of power.
Yeah.
You know, they want to be able to dominate the other person. And, you know, an adult, it's you know, it's a lot easier as an adult to dominate a child physically, emotionally, psychologically. It's a lot easier to do that than dominate another adult. You know, and I think that kind of figures a lot into it. And then, you know, I mean, this guy is 35 years old. You know, why are you looking at an 18-year-old?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we've all seen R. Kelly with his young women. Now, you know, R. Kelly, he's my age. I'm 48 years old, okay? And he's running around with 18-year-old girls, you know, and it's like, you know, look, it's not a big deal that you date younger women. That's not a big deal. The big deal is that you're dating women who are barely of age. That's the big deal.
Can I jump in? Can I jump in? Yeah, that was exactly what I was trying to explain earlier. I said because they were in the military, he probably was not thinking about age. He probably felt she was a young chick, but he might have had no idea she was 18.
Well, regardless of age, and they're in the military. If you're a senior and they're a junior, you can't be entertaining any kind of behavior.
That's careless. That's careless anyway. Because even if you're saying that, most men, even if I look at a girl, most men that say how old you are, they'll on approaching them, they'll ask for their name, and then as they're talking, they usually ask how old they are. You know what I mean? So even if he didn't know, that means he didn't care, and that shows, that shows in that situation with the online. When he talked to the guy, because I don't want to talk to you, I just want to talk to the girl. Again, he didn't care. You know what I mean? So that shows that sort of pattern that this brer is on that stuff. You don't care if they look good. I'm going in. That's how some thirsty predator shit. So that's even worse if you don't even care. You know what I mean? Because most guys have got common sense before they're on approaching girls. They ask.
Well, he knew that regardless of her age, he knew he was going to be getting in trouble if she spoke, even consensually. What he did, engaging in activities with a junior, with him as a senior, I think that he's liable for a charge there. That's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. You can't do it, so you're going to get some kind of charge if the girl says, yeah, something happened. Even if it was consensual, it's still unacceptable in the military, as far as I understand. So he was always on a sticky wicket there anyway. It was always going to be a problem anyway. So he just shouldn't have been doing that. Shouldn't have been doing that, full stop. But he did. Okay, so now let's look at who we're talking about. We're talking about one of your LDBC brethren. We're talking about one of your LDBC brethren, who we found out he's got a sex charge on him. I didn't believe it was real, but most people seem to believe it's real. I'm still struggling. I don't know why I'm struggling, but still struggling with it. It's kind of really shocking to me. One of your generals over there, I'm very surprised. Surprised at what though? Am I surprised that he was attracted to an 18-year-old? No, I'm surprised that he was in the army. He was in the military jail. Is that correct, Marla? He was in the military jail.
Yeah, well, it said on Unrivaled's video, it said he was released from military incarceration or something. So, yeah.
So let me go and look at this thing again. Offense, abusive, sexual contact. I had it in front of me all the time. Offense is abusive sexual contact. So touching the arse of a junior is abusive. Well, as soon as she reports it, it's abusive. It says it right here. Judgment. Discharged from military incarceration. Yeah, it does actually say that. Disposition date. The 22nd of the 5th. What's that? May 2014. Victim age 18. Victim's gender female. Statute charged under the statute UCMJ Article 120. And if you, for those who have just come in, when you catch the rewind, the replay, you will see that I've had up on the screen for most of the time what that constitutes. But right about now, I'm going to share. What am I sharing? Am I sharing this already? Can you see that? No, you can't see it. Why can't you see it? I thought I was sharing it. Let's share again. We are going to look at, if I can find the damn thing. Where does it say it? Oh yeah, there it is. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, how does that figure up on? How does that show up? Shows up pretty much okay. I need to move this over just a tad. Okay, so let me see what we're dealing with here. Okay, so pedophilic disorder. That's the pedophile. Pedophilic disorder is characterized by recurring intense sexual arousing fantasies, urges, or behavior involving children, usually 13 years or younger, usually. Okay, pedophiles may be attracted to young boys, young girls, or both, and they may be attracted only to children or to children and adults. Okay, so a pedophile is characterized by having intense sexually arousing fantasies, urges, or behavior involving children. Usually 13 years or younger. So the 13 cutoff is once the girl hits puberty and now she looks like a woman, then that goes beyond the range of pedophilia. There's another term for that. I might be able to establish and find out the term for men who are attracted to teenagers over 14. So teenagers who look and appear to be women. So if BFTB was put in the brink, or whatever you call it, in the military brink for, what was that term again? I can find it. The term was, where is it here? Oh, abusive sexual contact. So the abusive sexual contact took place with an 18-year-old. This lady who was on the telephone on his live was allegedly a 14-year-old. Pedophiles are attracted to either young boys or girls who have not yet gone through puberty. So predominantly pre-pubescent. The girl we saw on the screen, I'm going to assume, was not pre-pubescent. So, we need to get it right here. We got to get some accuracy here. And as a matter of fact, rat-tat-tat-tat, while the next person is speaking, I'm going to look for the term for a man who's attracted to females in their late teens. And the term is not pedophilia. Over to the next person who wants to speak while I'm looking for the correct term. We're going to get to the bottom of this very, very shortly. Okay, the next person.
So, real quick, if I could just add something. Context is very important, right? And so now in this country, in the United States, if you have sexual contact with a woman, a girl who is under the age of 18, that is considered, statutory rape. And I think if it's below the age of 16, it's considered pedophilia. I'm not 100% sure on that. It could be if she's younger than 8.
Yeah, somebody want to step in and fill the breach?
What was the last words he said? He was about to say something.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think he was about to say in the US the legal age was 16.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Yeah. So basically, if the dude was a regular civilian, then he wouldn't have been in any trouble. So I think people just need to calm down, give him a break, and we should all wait till the facts come out.
I don't think anybody's interested in giving him any breaks. I don't think anybody's interested in giving him any kind of breaks. I don't know if I'm interested in giving him any kind of breaks. That's not what this is about. This is about accuracy. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about breaks. I'm talking about accuracy. So
yeah, but most people were trying to just say he's a pedophile. Obviously, he's not. He basically made a mistake. Not everybody would make, but some people could. I could see a lot of people making that mistake. I'm not gonna lie. When I was about 19, 20, I was in college then, and I almost found myself in a situation like this. I just thank God, and it was in Texas.
Right.
It was in Texas. Like I didn't live in Texas. I was just visiting, and I thank God nothing happened. I didn't do anything with the girl, even though I was, I think 18, 19.
Yeah.
I think she was like 17.
Okay.
What saved me was I did not touch her.
Uh-huh.
That was if we had done something. Oh shit.
Yeah, but listen.
Hey, girls lie about their age all the time. They lie about their age. Women, a lot of girls, they look older. They lie about their age. And then it's too late. Like, you know what I mean? And what we're saying is that's what I'm saying with B. Actually, I get what you're saying with BFT, but at some point, you're the adult. You have to be mindful. You know what I'm saying to say? Because you just say you didn't do anything, right? But that's you're lucky, right? But what I'm trying to say to you is that some guys don't care. Like some guys don't care, like, you know what I mean? And that's how you get, things get caught up. But when you're adult, you're supposed to be responsible adult. That's what I said. There's certain checks you do. Like, how old are you? But even if you ask how old they are and their name, she could still lie. You know what I mean? Like, she could still then tell you later on that her age is that, and then what you do after. Let's say you did something and then you found out she lied. So there's certain things you find out. The best thing is in anything, you just take your time. But what I'm saying online and acting like you didn't business or you didn't care, he didn't care. It shows like a lack of self-respect for yourself and not trying to find out these informations, and that's probably what happened in the military at some point. We don't know exactly what it is, but it's there. And another thing as well, his actions on his YouTube by taking down your channels, it shows that you've done something of some sort of guilt of the way you're reacting as well. But like I said, it all comes down to his energy of what he was putting out in the first place. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, even if you don't think he's not, people don't care. Like Michael Jackson, people don't, even though he was found innocent or he paid the guy off, they don't care. They say he done stuff. You know what I mean? They don't care. If you've been labeled with that brush, yeah, that's the way it is. You know what I'm saying? That's how people ain't got no time for that shit. They just, it's like, bro, and people are harsh with it. They don't care. You know what I mean? They go, you should have known, and that's it. And no one needs to say, well, he didn't this, that, the other, because that's the way people are there, and they've put the information out, and it's just laid out for you to make a decision. I mean, it's not like we're bringing our kids around, but at the same time, it's the same thing. The guy's reaction to finding out and also the abusive language he's been putting out there. It's just all energy. I'm not gonna. That's why it's hard to even defend or anything. It's just something that and you just keep moving on. That's all you can do at this point. That's the way I see it.
Well, I'm going to read out the definition of this thing. Then I'm going to go to the fight doctor because he got cut off. Okay, so epibophilia. Epibophilia. Epibophilia is used only to describe the preference for mid to late adolescent sexual partners, not the mere presence of some level of attraction. So let's get it clear. Epibophilia is used only to describe the preference for mid to late adolescent sexual partners. So if it were true that the fella in question had a preference for teenage ladies, we have the 18-year-old. We have the young lady who is allegedly 14 years old. Then the category would be epibophilia. So let's get it right. Let's get it right. If we want to attach a name to it, to what it is alleged that he is, then it is an epibophilia. Pedophilia, that's being attracted to children with a cutoff age of being around 13. But what we've seen is he appears to have got into some kind of fix when he was in the military with an 18-year-old young lady. And now he was talking reckless to a young lady on his live, who is the father of whom had called in to his show, and he was being his usual rambunctious self. And I don't know how obnoxious he got with the girl, but if there is an allegation that he has a preference for a certain age group, then from what we have of the evidence, he's a epibophilia. So we got to get it right. Very much a piss poor father to allow that kind of dialogue going on in the presence or towards his daughter. The fight doctor, as we bring this thing home, just wanted to get to the truth. I think we chopped it up. I think it's like 1.5 hours. I think that's pretty much a good limit. That's listenable. People can listen back to it and get edified on the situation within that time. It's not too long. I like it. The fight doctor, your final words, please.
I think I have a proper term to describe dude. How about scum? How about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about this low life?
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, I distinctly remember when I was in my mid-30s, right? And when I was in my mid-30s, I spent a lot of time drunk. I spent a lot of time chasing women. I spent a lot of time partying. I spent a lot of time having a good time. But you know what? Out of all of the dumb things that I did, and out of all the partying I did, all of the drinking I did, all of the just questionable self-destructive behavior I participated in when I was in my mid-30s, none of it involved a girl in her teenage years. Okay? For me, at that time, if you looked like you were in your early 20s, I wanted nothing to do with you. Period. Okay?
Yeah.
You could have been 21, 22, 23. It does not matter because you look close enough. Close enough.
Yeah.
Okay? Look, 15 to get you 20 all day long. That was my motto. 15 will get you 20. So if you look anywhere near like you were a teenager, I wanted nothing to do. You couldn't even talk. Look, hi and bye. Where's your mama at? That was the question I was asking.
Yeah.
Okay. Where's your mama? Let me go talk to her. Okay. So look, at 35 years old, being in the military, I don't necessarily buy the argument that he didn't know how old she was. He knew exactly. Listen, the dude at 35 years old, he probably got into the military out of high school, which means he had already been in the military for about 15 years. Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He would know how old she is. He would know how old she was.
So
Absolutely.
he knew exactly how old that woman was.
Yeah.
Okay. And listen, at the end of the day, if you're in your mid to late 30s, which is exactly where he is, he's basically pushing 40. Okay.
He's 43.
Right. So I mean, at the time that he got convicted, right. So he's in his mid 30s, looking at 40. Right. Why are you even looking at a girl in her teenage years? Why is it? I mean, really, is your game that piss poor that you can't go and get yourself a real woman? Because at 18, I'm sorry, at 18,
stretch marks.
Right. Okay, a real woman.
Yeah.
Right? Because at 18, legally she's a woman. Okay? Legally. But that's it. She ain't a woman. She ain't grown. She's not. At 35, you're supposed to be grown. So, that to me sends up all kind of red flags. Like just all kinds of red flags. And like I said, I don't buy the argument that he didn't know how old she was. And, I'm just going to assume that this guy was probably stationed somewhere in a foreign country, right?
Possibly.
And what I do know is this, is that, if this guy was somewhere in a foreign country, there were probably all kinds of grown women to be had.
Well,
I'm sure
there's grown women to be had in your countries, they're not?
Well, yeah, of course. Of course. There's no shortage of grown women, okay?
Yeah.
No shortage at all of grown women. All right? Listen, look, I can never understand why men pay for pussy. Because my thing is this, why pay for what can be had free of charge? And it seems that the older, more mature...
What if you can't get it? What if you can't get it? What if your chat up game isn't strong? What's wrong with paying for it? If you want to eat a burger, you pay for a burger.
Well, listen, if you
want to drink some milk, you pay for some milk. Why would you not? If you run out of milk, you might have to pay for some milk. If you ain't got no milk at home, you're gonna have to go out and buy some milk.
Listen, look, I got nothing. Look, I have nothing against what consenting adults do in the privacy of their bedroom. And if there is, services and the services include an exchange of money for those services, look, who am I to judge what two consenting adults, whatever the hell that they do, as long as it's consensual, look, rock on. Do the damn thing. Okay? Look, me personally, I think prostitution is nothing wrong. Personally. And who does it hurt? Okay? Honestly. Who does it hurt? Nobody. Okay? Yeah. It should be legal everywhere as far as I'm concerned. Okay, but prostitution, you got you a grown woman. You got you a grown woman, and there's no problem there. Yeah. Okay? The problem is when you're looking at the kitties. That's the fucking problem. Okay? Yeah. I just don't get it. What the hell?
That's a problem.
I mean, that's a problem. That's a problem. Okay? That's a problem. And like I said, at 35 years old, there's just no excuse. There's no reason for you to and she wasn't the first one. It's probably a string. Okay. I promise you, it was a string.
Can I jump in real quick? Yeah, you made a point there, man.
I just want to address this point. How do you feel about his comment? My thing is if you can vote, you can stroke. What do you what's the panel's view on that? If you can vote, you can stroke. What's the panel's view on that?
So in the United States, you can legally vote at 18. So I agree. If you can vote, you can stroke. I agree. Legally. Yeah, I mean, but that's the law, okay? That's the law.
Let me clear something up. When I said a burger, it was an unfortunate term. What I could have said a loaf of bread. If you want a loaf of bread, you go out and buy a loaf of bread. I said if you want a burger, you go out and buy a burger. That was an unfortunate term. I wasn't referring to an anatomical. I was not referring to an anatomical region. I should have said a loaf of bread. But carry on, the fight doctor.
Yeah, so that's the law. I mean, now, me personally, like I said, when I was in my mid 30s, just because you were voting age, that doesn't mean I need to get with you or that I wanted to get with you.
Yeah, can I jump in here real quick?
No, because it's final word. So fight doctor's gonna finish his word and then it's gonna come to you.
All right. Well, let me make it brief. So but that's the law, right? So look, if a man is however old he is, if she's 18, it does not matter how old he is. The law says she's legal. So there is no blame, there is no guilt on him. Okay. But now that's the letter of the law. But now we have to look at the spirit of the law. And I think in terms of the spirit of the law, there's something wrong. There's something really wrong when a man, especially a man who's in a senior position.
Yeah.
Okay. Context is important. When a man is in a senior position and is able to impose his will upon somebody who's his subordinate and, at 18 years old, there's a problem there. Okay. There's there's a problem. I mean, it'll be a different thing if like they just sort of met somewhere and, they were, just working the same job and at the same level, and it just sort of happened that way. And that's a different story. But this ain't that. You know what I'm saying? This is not that.
It ain't that. This ain't that. This ain't that. And so that was the fight doctor. Thank you for your contribution. And remember, folks, we got the classic boxing talk and classic fight review tomorrow. And along with that also, well, it's not really boxing talk. Well, it is boxing talk, but it's trying to find out who is your favorite or who was the best. The question is going to be, who was the best boxing trainer? That's going to be the discussion or part of the discussion tomorrow at 9 p.m. UK time. That's 4 p.m. over there on the East Coast and 1 on the West. And that was the fight doctor. And then we go to Don ZB for your final words, please. But remember, people, tomorrow 9 p.m. boxing talk and classic fight review. And the question is, who was the best boxing trainer? Best to have a 1, 2, and 3. Best to have a 1, 2, and 3. That's what we're going to be discussing tomorrow. Don ZB.
Okay, yeah. To expand on what the fight doctor said, what he said was true because I reached a certain age where I haven't even looked at any girl. Like when I was around the age of 25, in my mid-20s, I can arguably say I don't even think I messed with any girl that was more than 2 years my junior, and from that point on, by the time I hit 30, I was like, you know what? It's been long that I even messed with a girl in her early 20s. So like right now, I don't even look at girls in their mid 20s at all. Like I consider that young. So yeah, he made a good point there. And yeah, to be honest, what if his game is not that great? Most people that don't have game usually go for easy prey, and easy prey are the young ones. Sorry to say, but that's just how it is. So yeah, on paper, it's legal to go for an 18-year-old, but morally, I think it's wrong. At least that's how I feel. But on paper, he went for an 18-year-old, and that does not qualify to be a pedophile. So that's my take on it. Thanks for having me, Rafi.
100%, 100%. And then we come to EJ Boxing Live.
Yo, yeah, I've just been listening to everyone. You know what I'm saying? End of the day, yeah, only God can judge, yeah, and his own conscience can judge, and and it's a blow to. I'm sure it's a blow to the YouTubers and the YouTuber boxing community a whole. What you put out can come back on you, even not. Some people could just find things about you. I know World Breaker, he come across as a guy that knew what he was doing, and he made a mistake, and next his channel, he took down his channel and his whole social media. I heard he's back on YouTube, but not not on boxing. You know what I mean? So it could happen. It could happen. You know what I mean? People I think if anything, people to learn a lesson from this and say, if you got any skeletons in the cupboard, don't be out here throwing stones, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it come back on you. Or you know what I'm saying? Because social media is the type of thing that people have that now. That's a record. That's yesterday no one knew of about it. He was abusing people, and it was all fun and games, I'm sure, to you. And now your personal business has been sprayed out across the YouTube community, and however you want to look at it, people have people can judge you. So that's all I have to say about that. End of the day, it's at least you've aired it, so everyone's listening. It's here on archive to listen. I think you've been fair in terms of listening to his thing, and you're not quick to judgment. And I think you've actually give him a fair break. That's probably more fair than how he's probably treated other people. And to be fair towards me as well, he's never really been rude. He's been, he was quite fair with me when I went over there. But I do know, obviously, he treats a lot of other people a certain way. I can't talk for them, but in the day, whether maybe you can learn from this and say, what, the way I conduct myself. But this is a stain on you in the YouTube community, and the people involved in that group. They're gonna have to look closely about some of their members, and like I said, it's a learning thing for everyone. And you can learn things in life if you want to, or you continue to repeat the mistakes. In any case, people dare to judge you. Like God said, in it, only God could judge, and that's more or less what I gotta say. I look forward to the show tomorrow about the greatest trainers in boxing. And are you doing a fight footage? Are you doing some fight film as well? Or
yeah, it's a fight. We're gonna be looking at a fight and talking about the greatest. We'll get people's opinions on the greatest trainer in history, the greatest boxing trainer in history. And
that's gonna be a matter of opinion, isn't it? I was gonna say, I thought I was gonna suggest a fight for you, because I was watching.
No, don't say it though. Don't say it. Just write it in the private chat though, because obviously it's gonna.
Okay, I'll do it another time. But hey, listen. End of the day, the show. At least you're ready to let everyone give their take on it, and it's out of the system now, and it's there on our guys, and we move on, and that's it. Thanks for letting me come on, Rafi. Appreciate it, and everyone, and all the guests as well.
100%. I think we've chopped it up. Forget about the sensationalism. What the hell was I gonna do? Was I gonna play that thing with the thing blocking the thing out? Remember, tomorrow it's Boxing Talk and Classic Fight Review, and that's Friday 9 p.m. UK time, and that's 4 p.m. on the East and 1 p.m. on the West. And I think we've chopped it up fairly. I'm not down with this over sensationalism. It's kind of out of hand. Just review the whole situation, put it out there, and let the people decide. Sometimes people are too desperate to bury people. At the end of the day, he's spoken appropriately to a 14-year-old. I haven't heard the whole thing, so I can't comment on it. And then the other situation was that he seemed like he got in trouble, got a charge when he was in the military. But let's keep it kind of accuracy. Let's keep it accuracy based. There can be a conversation if talking to a young lady who turns out to be younger than you thought she was, over Skype, if that constitutes pedophilia. But if she looks like a woman, then it automatically is not pedophilia, is it? Because if she looks like a woman, then that is, what's the term? Ephebophilia. You know what I'm saying? So let's get the terms right. Let's not be so quick and so hasty to jump to the sensationalist view. Let's just keep it friggin' accurate. You know what I'm saying? And thanks everyone, panel and chat. Tough topic, but well handled, Rafi. Yeah. So I think we've handled it fairly. I think we've dealt with the thing in a constructive manner. We've looked at it scientifically. We've come up with the appropriate terms, and I hope to see everyone back at 9 p.m. tomorrow UK time. And with that said, the only thing, everybody who's here, stick around. The only thing left for me to say to you is blessed.